super excited to have everybody here today. We are Glover U. Glover U is a coaching and training organization. We coach and train real estate agents all across North America. And we are super excited to bring you today's series. We have a very, very special speaker today and a special topic today where we're going to be talking about how to get more business from your database. We definitely want to show you as real estate agents how to do more business. Again, my name is Justin Ford. I've been in the industry for 17 years. I've been selling real estate and on the ground just like you for the last 9 years. I've had the privilege and the opportunity to be a part of Glover U now for 3 years. Started my real estate career back in 2013, right here with Jeff Glover. Sold 100 homes my first year in the business and still consistently sell 100 plus homes a year. And so what we share with you here today at Glover U works. The great thing about Glover U is we're not agents who did something years ago. We are agents who are on the ground today with you, sharing things that we are doing. So we're excited again to be with you. Hopefully you guys have your workbook here. Everybody should have their workbook. If not, I believe there's a link in the chat where you can actually click this and download this and open this so that you can take some notes. We've got some great stuff here that you'll be able to follow today and also to, again, take some notes. Lastly, guys, this webinar title is so important. And the reason why is because we're all looking for ways to get more business, right? We know that there's a shift taking place. We know that things are changing. And the reason why we do these webinars is because we want to help you learn how to do more business. And so today we're going to teach you how to take more business from your database and really the importance of it, guys. And so first off, we want to give you guys some free resources. How many of you guys like free? Drop a 111 in the chat. If you like free, drop a 111 in the chat. And so we here at Glover U really believe in giving free content away to help the real estate agents that we work with and connect with on how to, again, grow in your business and do more deals. And so we also believe in podcasts, right? And so every day that you have Monday through Friday, you have the opportunity to listen to a new podcast. And so what we call it is almost like Automobile University. Zig Ziglar said, if you're spending a lot of time in the car, we can be learning while we're in the car. And so Monday, maybe it's you're listening to a motivational podcast. Tuesday, maybe it's financial podcast. Wednesday, maybe it's a health and fitness podcast. Well, Thursdays, we have a podcast that we roll out called the Live Unreal podcast. And the word Live Unreal is something that we came up with many years ago. And it's really what we're all about. It's what defines us and what our mission is. And what Live Unreal means is to have a life so amazing that it's almost unbelievable. And our mission is to impact millions all around the world. And that's why we do what we do. This is our mission here at Glover U. And so go ahead and subscribe to our Live Unreal podcast. You can find it on all your different favorite podcast platforms on Apple, Spotify, also Google, and you can just search that and definitely check us out. Also too, guys, grab your cell phones for me. If you got your cell phones, maybe some of you guys are watching on your cell phone, you can actually pull out your cell phone every single day around 7:30, 7:45. Jeff sends out a morning message. It's a morning message. It's a motivational message, and it talks about what's going on in the industry today. And what I love about this message is Jeff's writing it personally. And every day he's not just, copying and pasting something from somewhere else. He takes the time to send out a message to inspire, to inform, and to educate real estate agents just like you and me. And we have about 50,000 people that receive this morning text message every day. So if you want to receive this text message, go ahead and again, pull out your cell phone, text the word morning to 55444. Again, text the word morning to 55444. We're not going to spam you. We already have your information anyway. And at any time you can reply stop to be removed from the morning message. So again, to receive this daily text message from Jeff, do me a favor, text the word morning to 55444. Now, if you still have your cell phone in your hand or maybe on your desktop, go ahead and go to Facebook. We have one of the most amazing mastermind Facebook groups, I believe, on the planet for real estate agents. So go ahead and go to your Facebook, hit the little the little search button. It's like a little magnifying glass, and just type in the word Glover space the letter U space inner circle. The word Glover space the letter U space inner circle. And we have a online Facebook group mastermind called the Glover U Inner Circle with like 12,000 plus real estate agents in it. It's a great place to connect with other real estate agents like you and me. It's a great place to find referrals, past referrals, and it's a great place to just really connect with like-minded agents who want to grow their business and go to the next level. And so definitely, if you have not subscribed to the Glover U Inner Circle, make sure you go ahead and do that. Now, if you're not a part of the Glover U Inner Circle yet, it's going to ask you for some information. And what we also have as one of our free resources is the Glover Gazette. Guys, this is a professional magazine with about 80 to 100 pages that we send out about 3 times a year with some incredible content, incredible interviews, top agents from around the country, and all sorts of great stuff to help, again, us real estate agents grow our business and to be informed as to what's going on. And this is our friend and one of my favorite people here at Glover U is Kate Simon. And so great article in here from Kate. And so we send this out for free. We cover the postage and we cover the cost of this entire magazine. And we want this to be sent out to you. Again, over 50,000 agents receive this when we send it out. And so if you want to receive a copy of our Glover Gazette, when you're going into Facebook, you can just drop your information, just put your home address in there, and we will be sure to get this sent out to you. And lastly, guys, we have what we call the second half business plan. If you guys missed it just about a month ago, Jeff did a second half business plan where we're in the second half of the year, right? We know that the year is halfway over. We're already heading into August at the end of the week here, or starting at the beginning of next week. And it's important to evaluate where you are year to date, right? Are you on track to hit your goals? Are you on track to hit your numbers? And with the market shifting, we did a webinar, again, about a month ago on the importance of creating a second half business plan. And so if you missed that and you weren't able to tune in, you can go to gloveru.com/halftime, gloveru.com/halftime. You can watch rewatch the webinar that we did. And this is the exact business plan that Jeff does with his team here at Jeff Glover and Associates, where his team, they sell 1,000 homes a year. And this is the exact second half business plan that he went over with his team. So again, if you did not get a chance to do your second half business plan and you missed this webinar, again, go to gloveru.com/halftime so that you can make sure that you check that out. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I am super excited to present our speaker today, Sarita Dua. She is actually one of the coaches and speakers here at Glover U. Sarita has been selling real estate, guys, for about 20 years. And previous to that, she was in high-tech sales and marketing. She manages a team and runs a team over in Portland, Oregon. And she just really takes an innovative approach to selling real estate. She works with buyers. She works with database, her database. She's got a lot of referrals that come from her database. She employs a unique combination of high tech and high touch. Sarita is also an industry speaker, again, trainer and coach here with Glover U. And when Sarita is not working, she loves photography. She loves traveling. Matter of fact, Sarita, I don't know if you're the only person that I know that has traveled to all 7 continents. She is an avid traveler, loves the NBA basketball. She loves the Portland Trailblazers. She enjoys competing in half marathons. And I believe right now she's actually training for a full marathon. And while she's not doing all of those amazing things, Sarita is selling 100 to 150 homes per year. Her very first year in the business, she was Rookie of the Year. She has basically been a top agent mastermind in her brokerage since 2013. She's from Detroit. Detroit's in the house. Again, she loves to travel, and it's my privilege and honor to present Sarita Dua to you guys to talk to you about how to get more business from your database. Sarita, so glad you're here and super excited to take some notes from you today.
Thank you, Justin. What a great intro. I appreciate it. I am so happy to be here. Everybody, this topic, this is the 7th webinar of 9 webinars. I really believe it's lucky number 7 because it's all about database. This This topic is so important now more than ever. And so if you have your workbook in front of you, the topic, how to get more business from your database, learn the new formula. Today, we're going to get right into it. I want you to be prepared to take notes. I'm going to give you a lot of content on what is a database, what are the 5 different databases we have, and what is the actual formula we use to connect with our database so we can actually grow our business. Now, Justin mentioned the Glover U halftime business plan, right? Everyone thinks, oh, it's July, it's summer, we're in the middle of the year. Guys, we're not in the middle of the year. It's July 26th today. If we're writing offers today, we're writing them for late August. That means we've got September, October, November, December, 4 months left in the year. So it's pretty simple for you to take a look at the deals you've closed this year. If you're happy with that number, or even if you're not happy with that number, you can't simply double it because 4 months out of 12 is 1/3 of the year left. That, and as Justin mentioned in our intro, it's clear, we don't have to spend a lot of time talking about it. The market is shifting, the market is changing. That doesn't mean people are not buying and selling real estate, but it is our job to double down on the conversations we're having and the connections we're making so we can grow our business. If you do exactly the same thing you do the second half of the year that you did the first, you're actually not going to get the same results. You actually have to increase the activity to get the same results, and you have to increase the activity even more to get more results. So today I'm going to lay out a formula on exactly how to do that. So as you look at your workbook, if you turn to the first blank page, page 5 of 9, I do want you to get ready to take some notes. And with your permission, I'm going to be looking at my notes too, because I have a lot of content to share with you. So the first thing we want to talk about today, right? We're going to talk about how to build a database and how to work that database. The first thing I kind of want to give you guys is sort of the precursor to this and like what's actually happening in our world. The truth is consumers are less loyal to you than ever. We used to have a rule, kind of a rule of thumb. We used to call it, if someone's asking about the handout, we'll drop that link right here in the chat so you can download the workbook. The reason the consumers are less loyal to you is this rule we used to have was called the 10% rule. At any time in your database, if you look at the number of contacts in your database, 10% of those contacts resulted in deals. So let's just say you had 100 people in your database, you could count on 10 deals from your database. Well, Sarita, does that mean 10 people are going to buy or sell from my database? Not necessarily. Maybe 5 of them are going to buy and sell, and maybe 5 know people that they're referring to you so you can help them buy or sell. But in general, the rule of thumb was about 10% that would transact business with you as a result of your database. Today, that number is actually going down. It's closer to 8%. And to be honest, we don't know if it's going to continue to go down. Why is that happening? Well, a couple of reasons. One, consumers are less loyal, and that's not actually necessarily because they don't like you or it's intentional or you did something wrong. They're less loyal because they're bombarded with information. We all know, like we get our news from breaking news and news alerts, and we're looking at our Facebook feeds and we're seeing all sorts of advertisements. It happens all the time to me. I'm talking to someone and I run into them at the grocery store and they're practically hiding. And they're like, Sarita, I'm so sorry. I don't really know what happened, but like it just happened so quickly. We were just clicking, and the next thing you know, we wanted to see the house, and all of a sudden there was paperwork at our kitchen table, and when we bought and sold a house, and we still love you. We were going to use you. It just sort of happened quickly. And that's going to happen. And again, it's not our job to take it personally. It's our job to be there when people need us. So consumers essentially they can get information a lot quicker than using us to be the source of that information. As a result, they may find information and or realtor resources somewhere else. So how do you get business today? What is the actual formula? It's actually simple. There's 3 parts, and it's a multiple choice test, and you can kind of do this the way you want to do it. But how do we get more business from our database? Well, if the numbers go from 10% to 8% and you want more business, option A is to grow your database, right? Make it bigger. If you have 100 people and the 10% rule was 10 deals, and now you still have 100 people and it's 8 deals, If it's 200, 300, let's say you grow it to 500 people at 8%, that is 40 deals. So that's one way to grow your business, is to grow the size of your database. That's option A. Option B is, even though you have a database, if you don't grow it, add more value to it. And we're going to talk about that in this webinar, exactly how to add value. But add more people to the people that you in your life, the people that you're talking to, deliver value so that they're connected with you, and then they call you when they need you, and or you call them at the time that they're thinking of buying and selling. So that's option B. Option A, grow your database. Option B, add value to your database. Jeff loves to double down on everything. So Jeff would say the best option is option C, Sarita. Why don't we do both? Let's grow our database and let's add more value to it. These aren't mutually exclusive options, right? Grow it and make it bigger, but then add value to it so you can get more from your database. Hopefully that makes sense. Please drop questions in the chat. We will get to them if we can, and we will probably be covering a lot of them in this conversation. So before we jump into the exact formula of how to add value to our database, I want to define what is a database and what are the 5 different databases every realtor should have. So first of all, what is database? What is a database? It is a collection of people that you interact with. It's your community. And we want to be the mayor of our community, the mayor of our database. So a database, people get really caught up here, and I do want to give permission to just sort of cut through some of the details here by saying a database can be any system you want. People think database, they go, Sarita, what CRM do you use? What's the best CRM? What software or system should I use? People can have 3x5 cards as their database. They can have an Excel spreadsheet for their database. They could have a complex and powerful CRM system. These concepts that I'm talking about could apply to teams of hundreds, if not thousands of people, to the single agent that started last week. A database is a collection of everyone you know. One of your simplest databases is your phone contact database. Your address book in your phone, that is actually a database. It's a collection of people that you know and interact with, right? So I am going to go through the 5 databases. Somebody asked, is this available for replay? Absolutely. By registering for this webinar, you'll be able to download it and watch it and take notes after the webinar is over. So let's go through the 5 databases. The first one is, I feel like, the one we talk about the most. It's one of the most powerful and valuable databases for you. And if you want to write it down, write number 1, PC/SOI. PC/SOI. That is your past client and sphere of influence database. These are the people that you know. You've either done business with them in the past, or you know them because they're your friends, your family, your neighbors, people from church, people from work, people from sports you might play, interests you may have, hobbies you may have. So they're all the people that know you, like you, and trust you. That's your PC/SOI database, past client and sphere of influence database. The second database you have, and again, you may have these databases and not even realize you have them because you didn't name them these in your mind, but you are probably interacting with these category of databases or communities in your life. The second database is your exchange database. Now, I've been plugged into Glover probably since it started, since 2017 or so, 2018. I've been an attendee at events, and I've been fortunate enough to be a panelist, speaker, and now coach for Glover U. Jeff is the first person I've heard coin this term, which is the exchange database. What the exchange database is, people that you've had great exchanges with, you've conversed with them, you've talked to them, you've delivered information, and you've gone back and forth, but you've not yet transacted business with. Now you're probably thinking, well, Sarita, that's interesting. And how's that different from my past client and sphere of influence database? Well, you didn't know these people before. They're not your past clients because they haven't done business with you. And they're not your friends and family or people that know, like you, or trust you yet because they haven't known you for very long. Let me give an example. You get a sign call or you meet someone at an open house. You have a great dialogue with them. You follow up with information. Maybe it's a neighbor from an open house and you went over to their house and you did a CMA for them, or you door knocked and talked to them and you told them about the open house. And now we're talking about what their real estate needs are. They're in your exchange database because you are exchanging valuable information with them, but they're not yet promoted to being a past client because they haven't done business with you and they didn't know you for very long. So they're not in their sphere. To me, a sphere of influence person likes you so much that they're going to jump out of line at Starbucks if they hear someone at the coffee shop talking about needing real estate. Oh, you need to call Sarita. She's the person. She's my person. She's great. That's what someone in your sphere does because they know you, like you, and trust you. These guys are getting there, but they're not quite there yet. That's your exchange database. Your third database, believe it or not, and we should believe it because we spend so much time on it, I know some more than others, is your social media database. Think about it, guys. How many friends do you have on Facebook? They're a database or community that you're staying in touch with. What about your followers on Instagram? Your followers on TikTok. I know it's TikTok. I try to stay on TikTok a bit. I'm limiting myself by setting a timer now because I just get caught up in reels and I only do it for a few minutes every morning. But your TikTok database and your followers essentially are people that you don't realize. You think it's just fun, but they are people that are being exposed to your content, your messages, and the value that you're delivering. Now, let's talk about social media database, right? Like, the reality is the challenge with the social media database is that you are connecting with them, but you don't know how often, because of the way algorithms work, you don't really know how often they're seeing what you're putting out. So you definitely want to be mindful of that community and understand that sometimes they see you, sometimes they don't. But I do want to tell you a funny story. I remember when I first got really serious about my database, I felt like I needed to apologize. I needed to call somebody up, one of my past clients, and say, you know what, I haven't been staying in great touch and that's going to change. You know, it's a new year. One of my new resolutions is I'm going to call people more and make sure they know how much they mean to me, because I pride myself on being relational, not transactional. But ever since we closed on their house, I haven't been talking to them as much as I want. And I remember calling this guy, Mike, and kind of apologizing and definitely setting expectations that I was going to do better. And Mike stopped me and he said, Sarita, what are you talking about? I know that, you know, you're busy. I know I'm busy. I see on your Facebook that your son goes to the school and he just got this internship and your daughter just, you know, did this. And I noticed you had an anniversary or a birthday. The truth is, the cool thing with social media databases is as you're just sharing parts of your business as well as your personal life with them, you're connecting with them and you don't realize it, but they're aware of what's up with you and you're aware of what's up with them. I remember going to a lunch recently and I actually knew that this person just got back from a trip and just celebrated a birthday, but I wanted to wait for her to bring it up. It's almost as if I knew more about her life than what she shared with me. And so social media gives us a window and a way to transparently connect. And it is a database and you should be mindful. A lot of us have realtors as our friends on Facebook. And while that's important, because we're going to get to the fifth database on why agents are very important to grow your business, you want to make sure you're also connecting with past clients and your sphere of influence by becoming friends. Also, those exchange people in that exchange database, if we can friend them or find mutual friends, then we will be able to connect with them. So, so the social media database is very important, and it is a database that you can't take lightly. The fourth database is what I would call the collective pond. Your buyer leads, your seller leads, your internet leads. Maybe you're buying a zip code in Zillow or Realtor.com, or you've done some door knocking, hybrid farming, a geographic farm. This is sort of that plethora of all the leads you have that at one point or another transacted, inquired about real estate. That is the fourth database. I kind of call it loosely your CRM, but it's really buyer and seller leads, usually cold, have not met leads that you're just, requesting information, but that is a valid database that you do want to touch. And it is different than the others. And it's usually a higher quantity because it's again, a large group of people that you don't know, or you're trying to get to know better by providing value. And the fifth database is your agent to agent database. This database is very important. I believe it's going to become more and more important. And these are relationships with realtors you may have in your town or across the country or even in other countries. There are agents that know you, like you, and trust you, and they will be referring business to you when a need comes in your hometown. I see a few questions, so let me repeat all 5 databases for you. And again, go ahead and write this down. Number 1 is your past client sphere of influence database, PC/SOI. The second one is your exchange database. Number 3 is all the followers you have on social media, your social media database. Your fourth database is your CRM catch-all for all your buyer and seller leads. Again, not past clients, not sphere of influence, but just anyone who's ever inquired or anyone who's ever emailed you, any sign call. It's just that pond of people that is buyer or seller leads, which I'm going to call them loosely your CRM. And then the 5th database is your agent to agent database. Perfect. So what is the number one thing you can be doing to all 5 databases is adding people to them. Be very deliberate about adding people to your database. You can have a goal wherever you're at. If you have 200 Facebook friends and you add 1 friend a day, you're going to have close to 600 by the end of the year. The other thing you should be doing is, just like we take stock every day of the number of contacts we make, the number of appointments we set, and the number of appointments we go on. If database is truly a focus for you, which I believe by even joining us today and being very interested in learning more about how to grow our database, that it is, have a daily goal of how many people you want to add to your database and make sure you track that daily. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know if you do, Justin, but the Live Unreal Planner at the bottom of each day has a place to add how many people you add. And if what we focus on expands, guys, if we're focusing every day on 3 or 4 metrics every day, and one of them is database ads, you're absolutely going to add and grow your database. Somebody on the chat and on our admin staff team has said you can definitely purchase a planner at gloveru.com/shop. So those are the 5 databases. And now we're going to go into how to add value to them. So first, again, I don't want to minimize this at all. I want to make sure that if you take anything from this conversation, besides the 5 databases and being deliberate, is every day consciously think, who can you add to your database? Make it a game. Part A of my 3-part multiple choice formula, right, is grow your database. If you're serious about your business and you want it to get bigger, the best way is to just make the community of people you know bigger, and you have to be conscious about it. So now that it's as we said, as it's getting bigger, how do we add value to it? What we're going to do now is just really give you the formula on how to add value to your database. I'm going to again ask you to go to a blank sheet. I haven't tried this to see if it works when I write something down and then show it to you. So we're going to find out how this works. I want you to write some numbers down. You can see it. You may not be able to see it because of my background.
Pull it back, pull it right, pull it back a little bit. Go forward a little bit, slowly, a little bit more.
You're not going to see it.
I'll tell you.
No, we won't do it. It's too
right there. Go back. Yeah, looks like you're in the Matrix.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Right there.
There it is. 4, 4. It's backwards. 4, 4, 1, 12, and a line and a 1. 4, 4, 1, 12, a line and a 1. This is the cheat sheet for the formula that I'm going to give you on how to add value to your database and grow your business. Okay, I'm going to actually tell you the answers, and then we're going to talk about all of them. Next to them, so write down vertically 4, 4, 1, 12, dash and a 1. Thank you, all these great people that are writing it all down for me in the chat. So the first 4 is phone calls. Go ahead and write that down, and we're going to talk about all these. The next 4 is mail. The next 1 is client event. And the number 12 is infotaining emails. Infotaining emails. Yes, that's a made up word. Half informational, half entertaining. Infotaining emails. And then the dash 1 is right now, right? VIPFG. And I'll explain that. Okay, let's jump into this. Okay, Sarita, you're giving me this math and you are not making any sense. Translate this for me. What does this mean? Well, and the reason we're giving you this formula is the number one question people have is, besides what's a database and how do I grow it, how do I actually work it? What do I do with it? What do I tell me the cheat sheet on exactly what to do so that I can get more business from my database. The last one under the line, number 1 is VIP, F as in Frank, G as in George. Okay, so let's jump in. The first one is 4 calls. You're going to make 4 calls to your database every year. And these 4 calls, you don't want to be that person who's always saying, hey, Justin, this is Sarita Dua from Portland, Oregon. How you doing? Do you know anyone who can buy or sell, who wants to buy or sell real estate or invest? What's their name? Give me their number. You don't want to be the person who's always asking. We want to balance our calls to have 2 calls a year where we're giving value and adding value with no strings attached, and then 2 calls where we're asking for business. Now I'm going to get real specific with you because again, I know your questions are going to be, well, how, what do we say? When do we say it? So let me give you an example. Let's say every year at the beginning in January of the year, this is a really simple call to make. You just get through your business planning and you know you want to sell 40 houses during the year. And so to have the call where you actually ask in January, hey, Justin, this is Sarita Dua from Portland, Oregon. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're good. Awesome. I hope you had a great year. I wanted to wish you a happy new year. I'm looking forward to a prosperous new year. Hey, I'm calling because I wanted to tell you that I have a goal to help 40 families this year. And I want to help them buy or sell real estate. And I'm wondering, in the local Portland area, I was wondering, who do you know that I can help to achieve my goal? Right?
Oh, that's great. Happy New Year, Sarita.
Awesome. Thanks. Justin didn't know I was going to just pick on him and do some role play. But my point is, what is the purpose of that call, right? You're coming from, hey, happy new year. I wanted to share with you my goal. And I'm asking you, who do you know, right? I'm not saying, Justin, do you know anyone that needs to buy or sell? Because that's an easy answer. Right. No, right? I don't know anyone. Thanks for asking. But if you say, who do you know? I'm not saying it's not a yes or no. Who do you know that could help me reach my goal and that I can help, right? You're still coming from contribution. You want to help them. Now, let's be honest, Justin, I'm kind of catching him off guard. Probably 9 out of 10 people are going to be like, great hearing from you. Good luck with that. And I don't really know anyone. I would then invite you to do a trigger question after that. Thanks, Justin. I can understand you don't know anyone right now, but if you could think about it, think about, any neighbors, people from work, people from church. I know you've been working out quite a bit. Anyone from the gym or in your running group, anyone come to mind? You're almost asking again, but you're asking with a little more specificity. And what am I doing? I'm giving him a little memory jogger on the few things, right? He might say, oh, actually the person at work, I heard them talking about the fact that they're selling it and it may not be going well. Or I know one of my cousins is getting ready. They just got married and they're getting ready to buy their first house, right? So just by giving them some time, what do? You invite the conversation to receive a referral, but you also plant the seed that you're there for them. And as he goes out about his day and through his year, he'll remember that you called him and that he might run into someone that can help you with your goal. Intuitively, people like to help people, right? If I say I have a goal and who do you know, people actually like to help people. Just like if someone told me that they're starting a new business or they want, an opinion on something that they're trying, I'm happy to share, because I want to help. So that is your first call in the January timeframe, and it's an ask, right? So then the next call might be in the March timeframe, and it's a value call. Now, I know Jeff's group does a giant client event in April. So their March call is an invite to that event. And whether you're a large team like Jeff that does a very large event in April, or you're a single agent that just wants to do going to a baseball game or doing a pop-up happy hour or a small golf outing, it doesn't matter the size of the event. It's the funny thing about events, and we could do a whole thing on events, of course. In fact, there is a webinar on throwing client events that Taylor Kerrigan masterfully put on and is available for replay. But the credit for the event is actually on the invite, right? It's the contacts that you get to make all around the event by email, by social media, by phone call. And so that March call is really just hey, this is what's going on. We wanted to invite you. And not in that call am I asking. Of course, I'm happy to take names if they know anyone that needs to buy or sell, but that's not the sole intent of the call. It's just saying we're having a great thing. We'd love to have you there. And so that March call is usually an intro to an event where you're adding value. Now, the next call will be another ask, and it's usually in the summer timeframe, usually around this time in July. And it's kind of a mid-year check-in, right? How are you doing? And I wanted to kind of update you as where I'm at with my goal and who do you know, right? And so it's a second ask mid-year. So you're not going essentially more than 6 months without talking about real estate some way, somehow, and making sure you remind them that you're there, you're in business, and you'd love to help people that they know. Now, remember, when you ask, who do you know? If they say they do know someone, ask them if they can connect you. Hey, I'd love it if you can do a mutual a chat with us, all three of us, or maybe introduce me through Facebook Messenger. It'd be great for that, for that person you're talking to, if they have the friend that needs the help to kind of do that intro. It's much easier than you getting a phone number and doing a cold call to that person. So if that person knows someone, the fact that they feel comfortable enough to tell you about it, they can surely facilitate an intro. And that's a great way to, again, connect with a referral. And then the last one is November. Typically, Jeff has a large group, and they do gratitude days the week of Thanksgiving, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Come in casually and basically love on your database. Call everyone and just wish them a happy Thanksgiving and tell them how thankful you are for their business and their friendship. And again, it's not a ask, it's a thanks. It's a call of thanks. Now, why do we do it during Thanksgiving? Is because they are likely to see a lot of friends and family between November 15th and January 15th, right? It's the holidays. And no matter what culture or religion, almost all of the holidays fall in that 6 to 8 week time frame. And there's also a lot of socializing and parties and get-togethers. And so by calling in November, you're sort of getting ahead of the crowd, and really it's a true gratitude call. You're thankful for them, you're thankful for their business, you're thankful to have them in their life. So that's just an outline of how 4 calls can go to your database. Now,
I got a quick question for you, Sarita, and I appreciate this is so good. I remember, because I'm really prospecting based, that I didn't really build a database for a long time until I, hired Kate to be my coach, and then she put some of this in place for me. And it was weird, even though I'm a prospector, I felt a lot of reluctance, calling people from 2, 3, 4 years previous. Do you have any advice for maybe those that are watching right now that are maybe feeling a little timid or afraid to pick up the phone and call clients from a few years ago if they have, let's say, been out of touch and they're starting a database for the first time? Do you have any advice for them?
It's such a good question. And I'm just giggling too, because you being prospecting based and feeling uncomfortable talking to people, I'm so relational based that I feel uncomfortable talking to people I don't know. And so it really, honestly, you just have to start somewhere, especially with gratitude. I think items of value and gratitude are the easiest way to connect. And I'm going to just dovetail into that answer when I go to my next part of the formula,
Awesome.
which is
Awesome.
the four pieces of mail and the event. There'll be other ways where you'll be sending things out and you can just simply follow up. I think the reality though, Justin, and I want to remind everyone, is people don't remember a lot. Like, even if you call them and say the same thing, or like they're not actually keeping track, because it's a game about hand raisers, right? Unless they're like raising their hand in the market and now more aware that you're a realtor, they may not even realize about the call. But I'll tell you, I mean, everybody I know, everybody wants to talk about the market. So if you were to do a market update and just be like, hey, from time to time I send stats and I just sent you something, I want to know if you had any questions. Again, it's just a way to get back in dialogue. And there might be some people that are like, hey, don't call me, or hey, I have another agent, or guess what, my husband became an agent. Whatever, like, make the note and move on. But I would just say that phone weighs 50 pounds if you're afraid of it. By just having the conversation, you just never know who you're gonna talk to. And most people, especially if you're coming from gratitude, are very happy to get the call. And again, I see some comments right here. Our goal at Glover U is to expand your mind and give you tried and true tips that are actually working today. Justin's in the business. I'm in the business as well. I sell 100 to 150 homes a year with a very small team, a team of 6. And so my point here is, do or don't do all of these things. But if we can give you one nugget that can change your business, we're very, very happy. So don't feel like, that's crazy, I'm not going to do it, so therefore I'm not going to listen to anything else. Let me tell you about Jeff's team. You said you were prospecting based, Justin. Jeff was very prospecting based too. 5 years ago, he does 1,000 homes a year and they only got 10% of their business. Now, prospecting based agents have sometimes sort of a crunch, all you want will make more kind of a mentality. Like, I'll just prospect for more clients. So if I get a client and I help them and I don't work with them again, I'll just get another client, right? But we all know that it costs a lot less money to have a repeat client than constantly work to getting a new one, right? That's why you get deals, if you're a loyal customer, right? People in retail and other industries, car companies and other companies, they want you back and they treat you really well, because it's cheaper to get me to keep coming back to a brand I know and like than always try to attract new people. So Jeff did realize that he was very prospecting based. And by just doing this 4-4-1-12 formula, 4-4-1-12-1 formula, by doing nothing else, he doubled his business. He went from 10% to 21% the first year. So this does work. In 5 years from when he started, which is now, he's close to 50% of his business from database. And this is a guy in a team that was only 10%. So my point is, I don't care if you don't have a database or you're even at 0, do this, start somewhere. You're going to see the needle move. And it is proven it works. We didn't make this up. We actually tested it, did it, and now are sharing it. So the next 4, right? We did the 4 calls. Again, to recap, 2 value calls, 2 ask calls, January and mid-July asking for business, March, April, and November offering value or gratitude, right? Now, the next is 4 pieces of mail, snail mail, postal mail, USPS, like the stuff we all hate. 4 pieces of mail is a way for people to be reminded that you're in the business. It's also a way to reach a lot of people, right? If you farm a particular neighborhood or you had success and a bunch of sales in a particular area, farming to that area and sending sending mail has always been proven. So now we're talking about looking at your database as a farm, right? How do we send mail to our database? So interestingly, you're going to enjoy that the dates sort of line up here with regards to the mailers. What Jeff does is he actually does a letter, a New Year's letter in January that is basically, let me tell you about my year. Let me just kind of look at my notes here just to make sure I get his timing down on when he sends it out. But he basically does a letter that he sends to everyone, and he covers 3 things in the letter. He does, he calls it his year in review letter, and he covers 3 things, and it's not a long letter. It's usually 1 page, maybe 1 page front and back. And what he does is he does what happened essentially in the business this last year, what happened in the market, and how he gave back to the community. And so I appreciate, Glover, you also commenting on exactly what they do, because that's Jeff's team. So a year in review letter is a great way to just reach everyone, tell them what your plans are, and you're talking about your business, that you're still there and you're successful. You're talking about what's happening in the market. And actually I'll have somebody type this out now for me. So A is what happened in your business in the last year. B is what happened in the market. This might be interest rates. This might be inventory. This might be inflation. And C is how you gave back in the community. Now, maybe you're again doing a lot of organized fundraisers, but maybe your community outreach is, hey, we did this thing where we just reached out to everyone during COVID, and we made sure we helped connect our database with resources in the medical community or whatever. It doesn't have to be, or we did a fun walk for a cause that we're interested in. It doesn't have to be about, I gave all this money, I gave all this time, but you want to show how you gave back to the community. Why? Why do we want to do all 3 things? Because people are different. Some people are market statisticians. The market update is what they care about. Some people like success-based marketing. They want to work with the best in the area, and they want to know what you're doing and how you differ from other agents. And some people are really moved by true corporate citizenship or philanthropic efforts on how good of a person you are, what type of citizen you are, what community member you are, and how you're making where we live better. And so by covering all 3 areas, much like the DISC profile, you sort of speak to people in their language, depending on what they value. So that's your year in review letter that goes out at the beginning of the year. Okay. The next piece of mail number 2, is an invite to a client event. If you have a client event that you're planning, Jeff's team, which we're going to talk about in the next part of the formula, does a large event in April. So you wanted about 30 to 60 days before the event, you want to get that invite, whether it's a save the date or an invite out that talks about the event. Now, maybe you're doing pies around Thanksgiving, or you're just doing a pretty simple Costco burgers and dogs barbecue at a local park. Maybe it's a photo shoot with Santa or the Easter Bunny. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be huge, but the credit and the touch comes with the invite. If you invite everyone and they don't come, that's not your fault. But by inviting them, you get to make them feel included. You get to talk about it. You get to share photos after the fact. It makes everyone feel like they were part of that event, whether they went or not. It's their decision if they can make it or not. So that March for Jeff's team, that March mailer is the client invite. And then the July mailer is basically a mid-year review. It's essentially the same letter with those 3 pieces: what happened in your business, what happened in the market, and how you gave back to the community, but kind of a refresh status update of where you are since January. I mentioned in January, everyone, that we were committed to helping 40 families this year. We're proud to report we're at 18 for the year. We've got some work to do, but we're here for you and your people. Please reach out. This is how you find us on all the different channels, right? So kind of an update on where you're at, what's happened in the market since the beginning of the year, maybe some notable sales and or happy buyers or testimonials. And again, what you did for the community or what you plan for the community. Now, one of the questions we get a lot is, Sarita, can we repeat? Because if we're doing like this thing for the community and we did it at the beginning of the year, can we do that again when we send our July summer update? Yeah, honestly, people don't remember what you said. It's the actual touch. To be honest, some people are going to read it between the mailbox and the recycle bin, but they read it and you got mind share from them. And so don't sweat the details with regards to if you're being repetitive, because no one's going to sit there, and maybe a few will, but most people don't sit there with a folder of all your letters and compare what you said each year. It's just a matter of reaching out that gets the credit. So that third letter is mid-July, kind of July timeframe, midsummer, I should say. And then the last mailer is a holiday card. And we love to do a holiday greeting early on, no later than December 1st, right? It could be a Thanksgiving card. It could be a gratitude card. It could be happy holidays. Be mindful of your demographic and making sure that you're as inclusive as you can be to all the people that are in your life. And why by December 1st? By December 1st, because you want to beat the rush. There's a lot of social events, as I mentioned, and by being top of mind. The other reason I should say why you want to do a client event in April and do an invite in March is you got to look at what is the highest month that you take listings. It might be May or June for you. Then you want to make sure you're touching them with mail or phone calls 60 days, 30 to 60 days before that busy month. People say, well, Sarita, if June's your busy month, why don't you just do it in June? Well, June is too late. If they're thinking of selling their house in June, they're probably thinking of actually in March or April, figuring out what they need to declutter and what they need to repair and all those nail pops and all the things they need to do and who they want to partner with. So the July is the mid-year review, and then a holiday card no later than December 1st. Now, again, this is exactly what Jeff's team is doing. I'm definitely doing these same mailers and just timing to my calendar with regards to events as well. So again, you may not have one big event, you might have multiple smaller events, but you just want to get in front of them by mail at least 4 times a year. So that's the second 4. The third 4 is the third number is 1, and we put an asterisk next to the 1. It's client events. Jeff's team does one big client event. It's opening day at the Detroit Tigers. Detroit's a big sports town, and it's a great way where he can have 750 to 1,000 people to an event in the spring, which times really well for his spring market. My team, we do holiday parties, summer barbecues, a pumpkin event, and we actually do a thing for our Indian clients, which is a Diwali gift drop off. So we do different things for our community. So there's no set thing you have to do, whether you do one event or you do multiple, and whether it's big or whether it's small, but you want to have one event. Now, at least one event. Now the asterisk is twofold. One, make sure, this is bold and daring, but invite people to bring friends. Let's say you're renting out a movie theater. The reality is if you invite 300 people, you're not going to have 300 people. You're going to have a smaller percentage of people who actually say yes. But if you have Bob and Sue and they're coming to your movie and they invite their neighbors or their friends or their sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and they have to register and they have to register to get tickets to that event. Now you have a system where you're growing your database because they are now in your exchange database because they came to one of your events. And Bob and Sue rave about you. While they're driving to the event, they're going to say, how do you know Sarita? Oh, well, she sold us our house and she sold our son's condo as well. Oh, so now they're talking about real estate and you're having an exchange and they want to come to the next thing and they're going to remember you and refer to you and or use you themselves. So think about allowing people to bring guests is a great way. Now, the scarcity aspect is, oh, that's going to cost a lot of money. But again, there's a lot of things we do that don't cost a lot of money. If you're having an Easter egg hunt and having people bring friends, or you're having, a neighborhood garage sale and you're helping people, with signage and advertising, and you're telling people to tell people they know, like it's a great way to add to what you're doing for community efforts. And then the last mailer, the last part of the formula, number 12, is 12 infotaining emails per year. These emails should be informational, but they should be entertaining. I do video to my database. My brand is Ask Sarita. If you have any questions, real estate related, ask Sarita. So my thought is if anyone has a question for me, that's a video. So if Justin was my seller and he was wondering, hey, as a seller, should I inspect before I list my house? Well, if he's thinking that, maybe other people have that same question. I'm going to say today, hi everyone, this is Sarita Dua from the Ask Sarita team. And today we're going to talk about, should sellers pre-inspect their home? Here's the pros and cons of why you should do it. And here's my recommendation. And it's just a short video, less than 90 seconds. And I send it to everyone. By the way, I used to go through my whole thing of, am I having a good hair day? And did I gain a few pounds? Am I looking fluffy? Maybe I shouldn't do it today. Maybe I should wait. And the reality is, once you get out of your head that video isn't about you, it's about them and information they need. In fact, the more authentic, if you like how I did my thing with the sheet and how you couldn't see it, the more authentic we are and the more we sort of mess up, the more real you are to your people. And what's interesting is I've had people with my videos. I do a market update video. I had people 6 years get my videos and I didn't even realize I was staying in touch with them because I lived with them in our old neighborhood 6 years ago. And when I meet them and I start talking about the market, they're like, yeah, we know. We watch your videos. So it's just a great way for people to stay connected, and they are informational and they are entertaining. So whether it's a video email or just a text email, I do think email sometimes we get overwhelmed. And so we want it to be kind of catchy in a way. Sometimes we use negative headlines like, don't read this if if you think this is a really bad time to buy, then don't read this. And then you talk about 3 great buyer success stories, right? So you can use a hook or something like that. And I do track open rates, and I do find my hand raisers that are clicking on my videos, and I actually call those people because it's like, and my call could even be, hi, I was driving by your neighborhood and I was thinking of you. They don't necessarily know that I know that they opened my video, but it's just like, if I send a lot of videos and 80 people interacted with it, those 80 people are going to be the ones I reach out to. So that is the formula 4-4-1-12. I added a line, and we are wrapping up here. I added a line with another one. The reason I want you to think of another way to connect and add value to your database is having a VIP Facebook group. This is something that we will cover at our upcoming retreat in Traverse City and in all the social media. It's kind of a crossover between database and social media, but having not only all of your past client and sphere and exchange database people as Facebook friends, but having a set place where they can be your VIP Facebook community. Now you're putting events in there, giveaways, market updates, items of value, things in the community, things that people that we want to connect with other people. That's all happening in your VIP Facebook group. So I want you to think about that as also a way to grow your database and add value to it and communicate in a way where everybody's sharing and you're bringing them together. So with that, this formula 4-4-1-12 with the one Facebook group as well, this is a way to, as we said, grow your database with consistent adds to your database, but then applying this formula and touching your database is how you deliver value to your database. And by growing it and consistently communicating with it. Now, I know I'm not reading all the chats because I'm trying to talk and be focused, but I know people are like, well, I'm not going to do it in November. I'm going to do this in January or February. It doesn't matter what you do. do it consistently. People become creatures of habit. They sort of become used to the cadence of how you reach out to them. And as long as you're consistent and you're not going a long period of time without calling, sending email, or adding value to your database, I guarantee you your database and your business is going to grow. And again, I would be remiss if I didn't focus on the fact that now more than ever, it is time to double down on our database. Whatever you're doing, do more. If you're making 10 contacts a day, make 20. If you're making 20, shoot for 30 or more. It's going to take more and more to kind of rise above the fray. And people want to talk about the market, and they want to know what people, what's happening in the market. Just remember this last thought, which is, people don't buy or sell because of the market. They buy or sell because of their life. And the way we know about their life is because we're interacting with them. We know if they're getting married, getting divorced, relocating, becoming empty nesters. And we want to be there when these life events happen. So with that, that is easy. That is the formula. It isn't easy. It takes work, but it is easy in the sense that it is a simple formula that you just need to follow. And if you plug into it, don't question it, and just continue to follow it. I'm excited to see where your database is going to take you in the coming year. And please find me as Ask Sarita on almost every channel, and stay in touch with me, and please share with me how this is going as you begin to implement it. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Justin.
Wow, Sarita, what an amazing just time of content. I took literally 3 pages of notes, and I'm fired up and excited. And even though, guys, I'm one of the coaches and speakers here at Glover U, every time I have the opportunity to sit and learn as well, there's things that I take away that I can't wait to implement in my business. And Sarita, this was gold. Guys, if you felt like this was gold and you picked up on something today, drop a 777 in the chat and show Sarita some love, guys. This was absolutely incredible. And this stuff works. I remember when I started to work my database, and I started to be in touch with my database, and I started to do client appreciation events. The value add was a game changer, right? And that's what we always want to lead with is value. And so if you're interested in learning more about how to do the work a database and really take it to the next level, we actually have a program here at Glover U called Operations Mastery. Maybe you are a high producer like Sarita or myself, where you're selling 100+ homes a year, and it's hard to find time to do database stuff. Well, guess what? We have a program. It's a 16-week program that starts at the end of August, where if you have an operations person, or maybe you're not at the point yet where you have an operations person, but you want to learn how to really tighten up the operations side, tighten up how to really work the database. We have 2 tailors, not one, but 2 tailors, Taylor Kerrigan and Taylor Cornfield, that actually teach this course, guys. This course is a game changer. And you'll be learning about key components of a successful admin operations role centered around a team lead or lead agent's main goals and objectives. And who is this really for? Newer, seasoned agents. Checkpoint to really make sure the key objectives of the role are being executed to a high level. It's recommended for the person in the key role and the team leader looking for clarity. Or maybe it's just an agent where you just want to tighten up your business. You want to tighten up your systems. Guys, this is a game changer. I took this class personally, and I learned so much. This is, again, a 16-week course starting at the end of August. It's 16 45-minute Zoom sessions. These are right on Zoom, and these will be not only live and available, but you'll also, if you show up to class, have access to the recordings. And so this is a class that you definitely want to check out. You can see the information on the screen of everything that's included. And again, if you want to learn how to work your database at a whole nother level, Taylor and Taylor go through basically everything that they do here at Jeff Glover and Associates to help the team, Jeff and the team, sell 1,000+ homes a year. To me, no brainer, game changer. Definitely check that class out. Okay. Also, guys, we have a very special event coming up. And as Sarita mentioned, we're going to be talking a lot about database here at the Glover U Retreat, which is next month, August 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And if you have your workbook, you can actually turn to the page. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, this is our itinerary for the Live Unreal Retreat. And again, it's up in Traverse City, Michigan. And what's amazing about this retreat, guys, is if you find value in the content that we teach here, on these sizzling webinar series, guys, we go so much deeper. 3.5 days of content. We're going to have keynotes. We're going to have breakout sessions. We're going to have masterminds. We're going to have panels. And then we're going to have some fun, right? You can see it on the screen. We're going to have some fun. Guys, we have some VIP parties that we do. We have a Glover U party that we do the first night of the event. And then if you come a little bit earlier that weekend, we have, there's golf outings. There's all sorts of fun stuff to do. Traverse City is a lot like, California, where they have the wineries in Napa Valley. The temperature is just like perfect. There's really no humidity. It's just an amazing time right on Lake Michigan. And so again, August 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, you definitely want to be there. And by being here today, today only, save $100 on the retreat. Nope, it's not $700 or $800 or anything like that to attend this event, although it could be. Guys, your cost today for being here is $349. Okay, anybody else outside of today's event is going to pay full price, $449. Okay, today's cost is $349. You're going to save $100 by signing up. We still have several hotels in the area, the Grand Traverse Resort, and several others. You can go right on our website, gloveru.com/retreat. to get more information, guys. I can't wait to be there. The retreat and the summit that we do are two of my favorite times of the year. Why? Because I get to meet a lot of you. I get to see all of you that we've been able to build some absolutely incredible relationships with over the years. And for those of you guys that have never been to a retreat or a summit, you might be asking, well, Justin, that sounds great, but I want to know a little bit more about what you do at the retreat. Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, because we've prepared a video for you that really gives you a breakdown and shows you what the retreat is all about. Let's go ahead, and I think we can cue up that video. Here we go.
What started as an event exclusively for our team has since been open to the public. Why would I do this? The answer is simple. My passion for training and coaching others to accomplish what we've accomplished has exceeded all other passions in my life.
I absolutely love everything that they stand on, everything that they represent. Jeff and his team do everything in excellence. I've been to many conferences throughout my 12-year career, and this is one of the best I've ever attended.
I'm in this room and I'm wondering, all right, why should I pay attention to what this guy has to say? Or why should I pay attention to what's going on here on the stage? And that's for one reason and one reason only, because I'm on the ground with you.
Not only are they coaching it, but these guys are doing it.
Top amazing agents around the United States come together and can learn from some of the best people that Jeff has on stage.
If we can put on an unreal experience, meaning an experience so amazing it's almost unbelievable, well then people will continue to come back. So therefore, we can pour into them to live their most unreal lives. You're gonna know exactly what you need to do, or you're already going to have acquired the skills necessary to make 2022 your best year ever.
There's a reason why we're the fastest growing training and coaching company on the planet.
It's all about not reinventing the wheel. It's finding those certain things that work with your process and being true to yourself and putting those into play and helping as many clients as you want. And Glover U gets me back on track with that.
I loved the featured speakers that they brought on. The content was so incredibly relevant to what we're dealing with today as real estate professionals. And I recommend to anybody, if you're looking to get into an organization, a coaching program that really touches on what is going to get you to the next level with what you're competing with today, then this is definitely where you need to be.
I don't know about you, Sarita, but every time I see that video, I get so fired up and excited. Guys, we would love to see you at this year's retreat. If you're not there, I'm telling you, you're going to have FOMO. 100% going to have FOMO. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And this is going to be our absolute best event yet. We're expecting between 750 and 1,000 real estate agents who are ready to take their business to the next level. And guys, this is actually a special event. Jeff is going to personally do a live listing presentation on stage, right? The market has shifted. The market is changing. Jeff is going to be talking about what's relevant today, what's relevant moving forward. And he's going to do a live listing presentation, the exact listing presentation that he does for him and his team to sell 1,000+ homes a year. So again, today you have $100 off of today's ticket price, and we definitely want to see you there. Sarita, again, thank you so much for all the great nuggets that you dropped today. Guys, we are looking forward to seeing you either in the Operations Mastery at the end of the August, and hopefully here in Traverse City for the Glover U Retreat, which is we're the only state that can do this right here. We want to see you right here next month. God bless you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.